Hey, hockey fans, and welcome back to another edition of Puck My Life. I'm joined tonight with Mark. How we doing there, buddy?
Hey guys, I'm doing all right. Just hanging out at home. Got the kids in bed. I should keep it quiet. Shouldn't be yelling. Hey guys,
Yeah.
like that. But we'll see how it goes. Excited to hear about your experience at the Solar Bears. I did not attend this game. I've never been to Florida, so there's that.
Well, hopefully that'll change in the future here for you. So we're going to jump into tonight's game experience where I went and saw the Orlando Solar Bears back in January of this year. And let's just get into this, man. So the Orlando Solar Bears, they play at Amway Center, which is in downtown Orlando, Florida. And as you can see here, just to drive down there, it's 18 hours and 40 minutes. Now, that's just the time spent in the car. That's not bathroom breaks. That's not food, hotel, none of that. That is literally just driving down there. That's the amount of time you can be in the car. So I would suggest flying. If you fly out of Detroit Metro like I normally do, it's like a 2.5 hour flight to get down there. And it's pretty inexpensive because a lot of flights coming in and out of Orlando with Disney and everything. So it's actually, for most places, I believe, too, no matter where you're at, I think most people can fly there pretty reasonably just because of how popular of a destination it is. As I said, they play at the Amway Center located in downtown Orlando. And that night they were playing the Stingrays out of South Carolina. So it's a pretty cool looking building. I like how they have all the glass there in the front, and obviously Florida with the palm trees and everything. And then if you look where the TV LCD screen is wrapping around the entrance there, that's actually to the main team store. And just below the Orlando Solar Bear logo, you can see the Orlando Magic logo because they also host the Orlando Magic, which is the NBA team. And that right there is the entrance for their main team store. That one didn't have any Solar Bear merch in it. I looked in the window. It was literally just all Orlando Magic stuff. And I believe that store they keep open like during the week and stuff like that for people. But it was closed by the time that we were getting ready for game time. Here's a shot from the inside. It's a pretty big arena. If you look at the top rim, it's pretty dark up there because a lot of those seats actually they had them covered up because they weren't using them. And I think it's just better for, like, I'm not sure if it's with like TV stuff or whatever, why they do, but some of those were covered up. There's like a big banner that's hanging up in the back, big old black sheet that's hanging down. You can see that was just all covered. Some of the seats were exposed, but they weren't letting anybody up there. We were just kind of sitting lower bowl and then the mid-level. In that back corner where you can see on the lower side where that purple LED screen is clear across the ice, I sat in that section over there to kind of give you an idea of where I was at in the grand scheme of things. So when we do these game experience reviews, we go over a few things. And the first thing that we go over is parking. Now, this is the Geico parking lot, garage thingy, whatever you want to call it. And it's literally right across the street from the arena. It was really the only place that I could find that had like decent parking. It was like $10 to park here. Wasn't too bad. And if you see here in the right side of the video, you see that walkway mark that's on there?
Yeah.
So the cool thing about that walkway, so that connects both the parking garage and Amway Center together. So when we actually parked, I think we were one level above this walkway. So we just had to come down the stairs, and they had in the parking garage was security and everything to go through the metal detectors and whatnot. And then they would scan our ticket on the other side of this walkway as we went through and we're going in the race. So it was kind of a different experience. Never had experienced anything like that, but I thought it was kind of cool. You didn't have to go and cross the street or anything. I got there a little early, so I was kind of walking around and exploring and just seeing what was going on because there was a restaurant that we went to down the street that we went and stayed at for a little bit before game time. But yeah, I thought that was kind of cool to have something like that connecting both the parking and the arena too. Next up is tickets. So tickets for this game range anywhere from $15 to $30 per ticket. That was before processing fees. The best place that I found to get tickets was right straight from their website. Yes, you can go to like Ticketmaster, StubHub, but you are going to pay more. What we actually did is we actually went and bought the tickets right at the ticket booth. And we just, when you saw that main photo of the outside of the building, there was like a bunch of ticket booths. We went up there, a guy on the computer let us pick out what we wanted. And we actually didn't have to pay the extra processing fees. We just had to pay whatever city sales tax and all that they had on there. So it came out to around $22, $23 per ticket. And my father and my mother went with me, and I treated them to the game, and we went and had a good time. They were already down there. I flew down to go to the game, visit them. Okay. They were down there for like 2 months. And so we were able to go and catch that game together.
Nice.
But yeah, so you see here right under where it says Center, that's where we went and got your tickets. So if you get there soon enough, you can go straight there and get your tickets. It's pretty easy. And then the guy just, I think he texted them to my phone and then had them right there, added them to my Apple Wallet, went through. It was a pretty easy experience.
Now, do you know, is there an option to get like the physical ticket from that guy, or is it just electronic?
You know what? I really don't know. I know there's been some times like when we went to Firebirds games and even Spirit games, you get the physical ticket, but he didn't offer that. He just said if you had an email or phone number to send the tickets to, and that's what he did. So, I mean, I guess I could have asked him if that was an option. It might not have been, but it could have been. I don't know, but it just was easier to do it that way. It would have been cool to get a ticket stub from him, but fortunately, we just got it sent to us electronically. Next up is merch. So the Orlando Solar Bears had some pretty cool jerseys, as you can see. I actually really wanted to get that purple one that's down in the right-hand corner.
Yeah.
But they were sold out of my size. The only one that they actually did have in my size was the one above it, that gray version. I didn't really care for that alternate at all. And the other one, I don't do very good with white jerseys, and that one on the end was like a 3 or 4X. It was a pretty good sized jersey, and the prices for the jerseys weren't too bad. They were around like $160, $170. They had some other cool stuff, but this was literally their whole. They didn't have a merch store or anything. That's literally what they had. They just rolled out these racks. You can see it was taped off. They got the guy there with the mask. He's got the one with his arms crossed. He was like working for them and just kind of like monitoring like security type stuff, but they didn't really have a great selection of stuff. They had a lot of like women and kids stuff, which was kind of cool to see, but puck selection, there was only like 3 variations that they had. The one guy did tell me that they were kind of low on stuff. I mean, this was in January when I went to the game, so they were still waiting for some stuff, but their merch, it could have used a little more, but it is what it is. You can see there on the end too. They had like a Christmas jersey alternate that they were selling. I think that one was like $125, but nothing too crazy. I only ended up getting this T-shirt from them, which, being a bigger guy and wearing a 2XL, a lot of times they like to charge more for that stuff. But here's the not the receipt, but the sticker from that. And it was only $19.96. So their prices on like their T-shirts and stuff were pretty good. Quality's not the best. I mean, this isn't like a Under Armour or Nike shirt or anything, but I mean, it's not bad for $20. And then I did pick up. We'll go to the next slide here. So I did pick up the puck. You can see there in the photo. And price on this guy was $14.95, which isn't really bad considering that it does come with the case. And like we've said in previous videos, these cases do run about, I think they're about $8 on average if you just buy them separate. But also in that photo, if you ever go over to the Instagram, check that out. And anytime I post one of the pictures that I have the puck in my hand, that's where I sat for the game. So I threw this one on there because I like using the blurred out one for the Instagram, but I sometimes will take ones where it's a nice clear background. So it kind of gives you an idea of what my view was like for the game. And it was a good experience. It probably could have been better to move a little more to the middle, but overall, not too bad.
Yeah, that doesn't look like too bad of seating right there.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. We were kind of at the top of that section, with them not really letting people up on the upper level, and like the club seats and stuff were in the middle, and like different like businesses and stuff had like box seats. Like we didn't go up there. I don't think they even offered those to us. They tried to keep all the like general admission to the lower level. All right, concessions. Nothing too special here. A lot of it was just same old, like just your regular hot dogs, popcorn. I didn't see anything super crazy. The concourse was really nice. They did have a Papa John's and some other
that's cool
notable like franchise restaurants in there, which was kind of cool. A couple of them were closed up because since this arena does host NBA games, and they definitely get a lot bigger NBA crowd than they do for the Solar Bears, some of them were just not open. But it's understandable with the attendance was not very good for this game, and you'll see here in a little bit. But yeah, concessions were okay. They seem to be pretty much on par with everything else. It seemed to be a little more expensive because you are in Orlando. It is a tourist town, a big tourist area with Disney and everything. So they can kind of get away with a little bit higher prices. But overall, not too bad. And then atmosphere. So with the atmosphere, this one was difficult for me to kind of like hone in on, because the team itself, the management and everything was really trying to put on a good show. The Jumbotron was really cool. They had a really good show at the beginning. If you want to see that, head on over to Instagram. All these images were taken from the highlights tab. You can click on ECHL and go and see the different other gaming experiences I've been to and other intros and everything there. But yeah, it just, there wasn't a lot of fans. It was really cool that they had this giant polar bear blown up. Yeah. And I took this screenshot because look in comparison. So there's the goalie coming out of the polar bear. Yep. And look at how big it is compared to him, just to kind of put it to scale for you, how massive this thing was. And it took them a while to set it up. If you go back and look at that main photo that I had of the arena, they were still laying that out like ahead of time. Like it took them a while to get that set. I mean, that thing was massive. And then the third photo here, they had this little balcony that had LED screens in the back, or LCD screens, and the woman in the middle was like the announcer lady that would like say, hey, we're fans in section 410 now win a hot dog, or like that person, the hype person. So she was doing a lot. And during this part, if you go and watch the highlight, they're doing I think it was to an NSYNC song. They're up there dancing and stuff like that. So they're really trying hard to get everybody engaged. But if you look in the background of these photos, there's not many people there, which for what they were doing was actually kind of sad to not see very many fans there. I mean, it was January. There was a decent amount of people in town, so they should have had a lot more than what they did. But unfortunately, they just did not have the fans there. And even when I was looking on Facebook, I didn't really see any like good fan group or fan pages for this team. I think one I saw had like 20 members, unless I couldn't find the right one or something like that. But like I don't know what it is, but the community just doesn't seem to be latching onto these guys like other teams. And I wanted to share this with you. And I don't know if you can tell in the picture there, but about 20 seconds before I got out my phone and shot these for the highlight section, the goalie was trying to hit a stick up the ice, and his stick snapped in half. And one of the players who was just about to go off gave him his regular stick. And so he's out there for a good 2 or 3 minutes with a regular stick until there was a stoppage. And he had like 2 or 3 shots on him during that time, and he was a trooper, and he held in for the long haul and until they could get the stoppage and get him another stick. Because if you look, I think in the second photo, if you look in there, you can see part of the stick is in the net. See that little black piece? So the top part where he had it taped is actually laying. He kicked it in there to get it out of the way or something. I can't remember how it ended up in there, but yeah, so it's laying inside the net. So it was interesting. He was a trooper, and yeah, everybody was like around. Was like, oh gosh, what's gonna happen now?
Actually, something that I just noticed: the net is blue.
Yeah, the pipes were blue here, which was kind of cool. You don't see that too often.
Is that legal?
You know, I really don't know. If anybody knows, drop that below.
Yeah.
But I can't remember if there's been any other teams that I've seen that have a blue pipe or not. Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know. Yeah, let us know if you guys have any idea about that in the comments, because I know I think there was one game I went to where the guys forgot to swap out the nets or something, or one of the nets was like still the practice net and it was all beat up, and then during one of the stoppages they quickly went out and swapped it. Yeah, somebody dropped the ball there. But yeah, so that was kind of an exciting couple minutes of that. Just not sure what was going to happen, because the South Carolina team was really trying to put pressure on when they saw him break that stick to try to take advantage of it. But they didn't get any goals on him, so he did his job. All right. So before we get into the actual score, there is something that I've been like to do when I'm at the games, and this is a new segment that we've started to add to the game experience videos, is Spot the Mighty Ducks fan. And if you've all been to a hockey game, you're almost guaranteed to run into a Ducks fan, whether they're wearing the D2 jersey that's at the bottom here, or they're wearing the one that this lady was wearing, which is from the first movie. She was sporting the Conway jersey. And I think there was one other person. There was like a kid or something like that was wearing one. But this was the first person that I spotted that I actually walked by. But they're out there, man. You know, people love them Ducks.
Everybody's gonna pay attention to it now to see. Yeah,
like, oh, is there one at my game?
Yep.
So yeah, so it's cool to see that, especially with as many people that were there, that, you know, low numbers and still somebody wearing that. So right now, what we've decided to do is we decided to kind of change up the scoring that we're doing for the game experiences. And so what I ended up doing is I gave the Orlando Solar Bears a 37 out of 50. I gave them a 9 out of 10 for parking. I thought their parking was pretty good. There's been some places that I've gotten cheaper parking, but I thought their parking was really solid. Tickets, 10 out of 10, you know, being under $30 for a ticket to the game. Merch, I did feel like they kind of lacked in that area. They didn't have a designated section. There wasn't really a good selection for adults. There was a lot of kids stuff and everything, which was cool. I think the reason why there was a good selection for the kids stuff was because I just don't think it was selling. They just had so much of it sitting around.
True. Yeah.
And then concessions, I gave them a 7 out of 10. There wasn't really anything that I thought like stood out to me. And prices seemed to be a little bit higher than other arenas I've been to. And then I really dinged them on the atmosphere, just because it was just so quiet in there, because there was no fans. I know they really tried hard with their in-game entertainment, but if they tried just as hard with the in-game entertainment as they do with their marketing, I think they're going to get more people into that arena. And I don't know if it was just because it was an off night or something else was going on, but I just, with even some of the other research I was doing, it just did not seem like there was a very big base for these Solar Bears. So it was quite disappointing. But we do have one redeeming factor I did want to throw in. We do have a section now where we're doing like a wow/X factor. And I did give them 2 out of 3 points. I did give them a little bit of a bump because of how hard they tried during the in-game entertainment and the intros and everything that they were trying to do. So I gave them the max we give out for this WoW/X Factor is a 3 bonus points. So Orlando Solar Bears, you guys get a total of 39 points for us for your puck score. So Mark, after I've gone over all that, what are your initial thoughts on a Solar Bears experience based off of all that information I just threw at you?
So I'll go back over to this previous slide. I agree with you on the parking. I think the parking, from what I've seen by watching your pictures that you have, I think the parking is good at a 9 out of 10 because of that like hamster tunnel. I think that's very safe. They're looking out for the patrons that are going there, making sure nobody's getting hurt. Tickets, I think you might have went a little bit too high on that. I think just with the question I asked with if they have physical tickets, but that's just something that we didn't know or that you didn't know at that time. And then a little bit confusing on trying to get the tickets at that spot, but then go into like the parking garage. That could have been like an issue there, I feel. So I think tickets, I don't know if I would have did 10 out of 10 on that one. Merch, I agree with you on that. Concessions, I agree with you on that. And then I agree with you also on atmosphere. Just from watching your experience on it. Definitely need to get more fans in that crowd to have a better game experience there. Would you recommend it to anybody?
Oh, I definitely would. I would. It's a good game experience, and the other thing with the tickets is one of the issues that we ran into, and I'm going to let you guys know this ahead of time. I should have mentioned this earlier, but the reason why we actually entered through the hamster tunnel instead of over by where the box tickets were is because when we went out to the restaurant, my mom had her purse with her, and they did not allow bags that were bigger than a wallet size. So like however big like a women's wallet is. So we actually had to take it back to the car and drop it off. So since we were already back at the car, we decided we'll just go through the hamster tunnel. But if she would have left her bag in there, because she didn't even use it anyways, then we would have just gone into literally right around the corner, just down from where we got the tickets. There was doors, and we went through there, but they said that she had to take her bag back to the car or pay $10 or something like that for a locker. So we're like, okay, it's literally just on the other side of the arena. We'll walk on the other side. So just a word of caution. If you are going to one of their games, make sure that you don't take in any bags, even if they're clear, because they will send you back to your car, or you will be forced to rent a locker to keep it in a secured area. So it's just a safety protocol, and I didn't know that ahead of time. I guess a lot of other arenas have actually gone to that, and so that was why we went through that. But with everything else being said, like if that wouldn't happen, we would have went through over there. We wouldn't have had to go through the hamster tunnel. But leaving, it was nice because we just went through there and hopped right in our car, went up the one flight of stairs, and boom, we were out in no time. It also helped because there wasn't much traffic. But yeah, so that was good. So yeah, let us know what you guys think on the game experience for the Orlando Solar Bears. Let me know what you think on my numbers that I threw at them, the rating that they got. I was trying to be as fair as possible. Obviously, we're trying to take into consideration that these are not NHL teams. We're trying to grade all of these teams fairly based on the league that they're in and the resources that they know that they have at their disposal. So we're trying to do that in a fair, reasonable manner. Now, Mark is going to touch on for a minute. We have a giveaway coming up starting Friday. Mark, do you want to kind of talk about that for a minute?
I'll try and talk on it as much as I can without giving a whole lot away. We do have a giveaway coming up on Friday, so make sure that you guys are subscribed. Make sure you like this video just so that other people can see it, so that they have a chance to get into this giveaway. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you have that bell notification for when we drop that video, just so you guys can get all the details on how to enter to get into the giveaway. I won't give too much into it. It's definitely something that you need in your collection. If you look at the title of the page, might have a little indication on what it may be.
Dropping hints.
But it's definitely cool. Definitely something that a lot of people probably don't have in their collection, and it's cool altogether. I think I'm gonna stop there before I give away too much.
I mean, I'll add to that real quick. Okay. It's definitely something that you and we knew existed, but we didn't know to what extent. And when we realized what we were trying to find and we ended up finding it, I think we were both kind of shocked that we found them, to be honest, with just how limited they actually were. So
yeah,
I can't wait for that to come out this Friday. I think people are going to get a kick out of that. So
I'm excited.
Yeah, very, very excited for that. Also, guys, don't forget to go over and check out the Instagram. The link will be in the bio. We are going to be dropping exclusive content on there. A lot of the in-game stuff whenever we go. I usually try to get the intros and a bunch of other cool stuff that goes on. So that stuff gets posted right to there. So if you want to see that stuff, or even go through the highlights tabs over there from some of the other game experiences that I've been to, we have, I think there's like 20 some game experiences that we're going to be dropping on here. And then once we hit the new season, then we're going to start adding on a bunch of teams. So it might actually take us a little while to get caught up. But if there's any teams out there you guys want us to try to review next year, I know a few people have actually sent us requests like, hey, can you come out and check out our team and see what you think? Let us know in the comments or shoot us a message, and we'll try our best to go out there and see them for sure. All right. Anything else, Mark, before we wrap things up here and let people go for the evening?
No, that's about it. I enjoy doing this. I hope everybody else that's subscribing is enjoying watching our game experience. Get into the comments. Let us know any like issues that you guys have, like with Orlando. Maybe there was a night that you went, there was a lot of people there compared to the night that Tyler went. Let us know. Let us know your views on everything, and just stay interacting with us and help us keep going and looking forward to this. I'm always excited to come on here and talk about hockey.
As am I. And I will say this too regarding the game experiences. A lot of these are based off of one game, and it's our personal experience that we've had at that one game. Now, I know some people have gone to games and have had bad experiences. I mean, there's times where I've gone to games and I've had beer spilt on me by the upper deck fans at the PPG Paints Arena, the Pittsburgh fans. And but the night before was totally different. So yeah, it's to each his own, but we're trying to be as objective as possible when it comes to these things. And so if you guys have anything else to add to the conversation, drop that below. And just remember, guys, all this is just for the love of hockey. You know, that's what we're here for, right, Mark?
Yep. You guys have a good night.
All right. See ya.